And we're in live and ready for the lower bracket consolidation final of season 46 of the ESL Challenger League. I'm Darth Mike. This is JRT, and tonight, John, we send one of Boss and Party Astronauts through to the ESL Pro League.
Yeah, and both teams have been very dynamic, very fun to watch throughout these playoffs. I think even the Party Astronauts, when they lost to M80, there were some exciting moments, and the same could be said when Boss lost to M80. I would even argue even more exciting was that match because Boss were very close to pushing it to map number 3, and then M80 pulled it all the way back from down 11-3 and won that in overtime 16-14. So either way, though, Boss impressed us a lot, I think, in their mechanical skill and also strategically. And yesterday, Party Astronauts, I mean, Sixy was the MVP. Sixy is in the top stat category of 14 of the 22 stats shown on HLTV, and he's number 1 in 11 of those. So it is ridiculous how he's doing these playoffs.
That's absolutely bonkers. I mean, yeah, yesterday it was just like he could see the Matrix, you know? He could put no foot wrong, particularly on Mirage. Ended with a 3.07 rating, 30-6. The scoreline, like 193 ADR.
That's right.
Stupid numbers. Just stupid numbers. He was like, what, 16, 17 kills before he died? Something absurd like that?
Yes,
I mean, just dominant. No other way to say it. Even on the second map where he was like a little bit more mortal, I think he still had like above a 2 rating. Like just absolutely had the numbers of nouns. And frankly, it was a surprise because he's been good for Party Astronaut since his return. But this is like, you know, 60 of a few years ago where the mechanical skill just dominated whoever he was up against. And look, if he's going to be in that kind of form tonight, I don't know how you honestly deal with that kind of a player.
No, I agree. I think that, and you're right, by the way, he was above a 2 rating on the second map, even though it wasn't even as impressive a performance as the first one. But yeah, it's going to be super difficult. The thing is, you do have Freshie on the other side who impressed us as well. He had 46 frags up against M80 last time they were playing. And I'd say Cryptic, the IGL, doing a pretty good job on the entries. Darty and Brett supporting with the rifle. And the only... I mean, I don't want to rag on him too much, but the only missing piece here is Wolfie. He hasn't really been the Opera we saw in the regular season. He is doing well in terms of his support in utility usage and flashbangs and everything like that, which is good to see him step it up there because the frags haven't necessarily been there as much, and they need him if they want to win against a team like the Party Astronauts, especially if Sixy is clicking in the same way as yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, or really any of the players, right? We had big moments from Bentley. We had big moments from Pone alone. That was Trio didn't die for like the first 10 rounds of Mirage or some absurd, like I think it was just like 6 rounds of Mirage, but that's still insane that 3 players hadn't died that deep into a map. But what we've entered is a Party Astronauts team that started clicking in a way that they haven't in a year, it feels like.
A year. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this is teams that a team that's had good runs of form, that's had big plays, that's been up in position to contend with the best that North America has to offer. But it's been a while, frankly. And since the return of Viz, since the return of Sixy, starting to look like it again. You know, you heard it when Sixy was talking about it last night that as soon as he became available, they started talking about a reunion, that they knew Viz wanted to come back as well, that it was kind of a situation when those 2 players left the team where it wasn't that they wanted to stop playing, it were just other factors that got involved. And man, this Party Astronauts roster has been tough to stop since they came back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do agree. I mean, since they came back, not that, again, I don't like ragging on Grizz and Spec too much because I do feel like they performed quite well when they were there. But it's just another level for for Sixy and Viz. I think they really brought this team up, and we're seeing it, the fruits of that right now.
Yeah, I don't think it was any issue with the 2 players who came in, right? It's more that sometimes you get a specific blend of 5 players that become greater than the sum of their parts, right? That gel, that click, that get into that flow state, that have that unspoken communication where they know what the other person is doing, and that just elevates a team. And Boss does feel like a team that is elevating themselves as well, right? This is a team where realistically, outside of Wolfie and I guess kind of Brett, we've never really gotten a big shine in any of these players, and right now they're playing. Like Darty's been tapped as one of these next up and comers, but other players like Brett, Cryptic, Freshie, they've been around for a little bit, and on this roster they're ascending, they're finding that next level, and they're doing it perhaps most importantly after they've been let go by their org, after they've been cast out and told they weren't good enough. Now they're finding that next level, that next period of performance that's really making us start to take note.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you talked about Freshie in particular and Cryptic as well. These two players, along with Brett, I would say haven't necessarily shown crazy potential until last season. Last season was when Wildcard started to perform at a level we hadn't seen before. And I think they went, what was it, 6-1, right? The playoffs weren't as good. They went 1-2 in the playoffs. But this season was the same kind of regular season performance. And now they're in the lower bracket final. So they've got the playoff performance, they've got the regular season performance, and the opportunity at a pro league spot today, which is crazy. I'm sure there's a lot of anxiety and excitement, not only for Boss, of course, but for the Party Astronauts. And we talked about it with Sixy yesterday. He wants to play in pro league because he's only been in an online pro league, which is surprising for a player of his caliber in North America not to have made it there. But that's a lot on the line for him.
Yeah, Party Astronauts as a team, I mean, they've been in these positions before, right?
Yes.
They've had some more of these opportunities. These are players who've been around a long time. For Boss, for a lot of these players, this is their first chance. Again, like outside of Wolfie, realistically, this is their first chance at this caliber of a competition. Dude, this is a massive step up from anything they'd have played in before. So, yeah, it is going to be a question for how they surf the nerves in this one, right? Because you don't really know how you're going to perform until you're put in that spot. We were actually talking about it in Europe as well, where we had Forza, who had just brought up a couple of young players. And when we talked to their IGL Shelfie, one of the things he was saying was, I don't really know how they're going to perform under pressure, you know, until today, until they had the match today. So we're going to find out for Boss. We're going to get that revealed. We're going to see whether in the big moments when the lights get bright, you elevate, because some players do and some players crumble, and you just don't know till you see it, you know?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I feel like one player that hasn't necessarily done as well under the pressure, even though he's been there before, is Wolfie. So this is a test for him as well, even the rookies that haven't necessarily made it to Pro League. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
It will indeed. We've got our maps. Let's go ahead and roll them out. How much do you think the maps are going to weigh into this? Because I don't know. I'm almost looking at it as a blank canvas where is it going to make that much of a difference, John?
I honestly, their map pools are kind of similar, so I don't really think so. You look at the Party Astronauts, they're good on Nuke, so is Boss, so that pick is kind of the same for both teams. Ancient, I would feel like the same story there. 11-5 for Boss over the last 3 months, 8-6 for the Party Astronauts. So yeah, I kind of am with you there. And it's not even just because of their map pools, because of how well individually these players have been playing on both sides, that I don't really feel like the maps are going to factor in. And yesterday we expected to see something really tightly contested between Nouns and the Party Astronauts. Party Astronauts dominated, only 5 rounds for Nouns over 2 maps, which completely surprising. This time, if we see that type of performance again from either side, I will be absolutely shocked. This one should be back and forth all the way to the finish line.
I know what John's hoping for. He's hoping for a tight affair. But I mean, look, here's the reality, because sometimes you get those kind of a bloods because the other team crumbles under the moment, under the pressure, makes a bunch of mistakes. Nouns weren't playing great, but they weren't playing poorly. Like there weren't glaring errors where we saw them making silly mistakes. It was genuinely about Party Astronauts. It was genuinely about Party Astronauts finding that flow state, finding that form where they just felt untouchable, and they expressed it in the server. So
yeah,
I don't know if we're going to get that PA 2 nights in a row, right? Like that has not been the PA we've expected. Even when they've been good, that is, you know, stratospheric. But if we do, it's going to be very tough for Boss to handle.
Yeah, I do agree. And one thing for Nouns, though, is that when they're challenged, they tend to kind of crumble under the pressure and don't really answer in a meaningful way. So I think that was part of it. I agree with you. Party Astronauts are playing really well, but then Nouns couldn't pick themselves up off the floor afterwards. Boss, on the other hand, we've seen them fight back and forth. They know what it's like to be down by a large margin and come back and get a win. So and they haven't really felt like a team where they lose really badly on one map and then the next map they're going to have a struggle. No, they just forget about it and they move on and can get to that map 3, which they did in the regular season multiple times. So I'm excited for this one. Again, I know you feel, sorry, Mike. I know you feel like Party Astronauts could dominate this. It's possible, but I still feel like Boss have a very, very good chance of coming out with the win here.
It's very possible. It is very possible. I mean, the thing is, in their last meeting in the regular season, Party Astronauts did 2-0 this Boss roster. That was on Nuke and Mirage, so it'd be interesting to see. It did feature an overtime game, though. And as you said, Boss has impressed us massively, right? We weren't really sure how they would be doing against swapping a player in, losing Slight, who's a big focal point for the team. It was a bit of a question mark, and they've performed. And Cryptic, in particular, as a young in-game leader, has impressed me And I'm curious to see if they've got any tricks for us in the pistol rounds, because they whipped out that really nice overpass pistol the other night, and I want to see if they've got other shenanigans up their sleeves. But John,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that was one of the nicest pistols we've seen in the playoffs, if not the nicest.
It was real slick. It was real slick. I want another one, but for now, we're going to need to take a quick little break. When we come back, it'll be live in the server for map number 1. Live and into the server. Boss and party astronauts. Nuke is where we start our show. What do we think about Nuke between these two teams?
I mean, like I said in the pre-show, Nuke is technically pretty strong on both sides. Obviously stronger for the party astronauts, which is why they picked it. 11-7 over the last 3 months, plus 28 round differential. But on the other side, 5-4, plus 22 round differential. So both teams are good. Boss needs a strong CT side, which I mean, we'll see if they get it. Bone alone was flashed there, but he recovers in time to get two. Brett and Wolfie are dropped 5v3 in favor of PA, and they got the B side.
I like when we can just hear the thump of a pistol tool through the floor. Put the bomb down, full control here, even with the player red box. Darty was a danger. But with him gone, this retake is just too slow to get activated, right? They have the kit, but they're so far out of position that they don't even want to think about it. And they know. It's over. Save what you got. Into the next round. Try and get rolling here in the future. But PA, good pistol. Good pwn alone action. Win.
I mean, I like the idea from Boss to get a little bit aggressive towards red box at the outer yard, but Pwn alone was good for 2, and that's really what triggered that push into the B site and gave PA all of that space to work with. After that point, I mean, there's one player that can challenge, they go down right away, and Freshie and Cryptic, like you said, so very out of position. Yes, you have the kit, but it's better to save the armor and, of course, the kit as well into this next round, because you're probably not going to buy up much. You could go for the force buy, which would make the force buy more potent with those 2 pieces, but we'll see what Boss decides to do. And it looks like it's just going to be a full on eco unless they buy at the very last second, which I doubt. There we go. Only $300 spent. Darty getting the P250 upgrade. Everyone else on default pistols or whatever they had in that previous round, those 2 players. 2 MAC-10s, an AK, and 2 Galils on the other side. This should be a party astronauts round victory.
Should be. Shoulds, though, frequently become didn't. Cryptic's in the right spot. Cryptic's in the right... okay, never mind. 6E wise to it. Starting out well. I'm just saying. Starting out well here, John.
I wouldn't be against seeing a performance like that from 50 again, I'll tell you.
Shooting. Does feel like I've been treated to a couple of those like really unexpected outlier performances recently. We had an ace on an EU today that was unreal. I'll see if I can find the clip for you. It was from a team that was getting dumpstered on the map. Sinners were getting absolutely wrecked, but Shock pulled like an ace that was reminiscent of part happy Deagle clutch, part Monacy op ace. It was disgusting.
Those are 2 impressive highlights that you're referencing, so I'll have to see this one.
Yeah, I'll find it for you. I was losing my mind in the cast. So it's been a week of outliers. 6E, I mean, he's already at too slow of a pace to replicate what he's doing, and he's died in the first 2 rounds, so not going to have the Titanic performance he did. But obviously not really an issue with the MAC-10. He was hunting up some kills, trying to get the kill reward. And his gun retrieve doesn't make a difference. I'd be surprised if they even want to play with it.
Yeah, no, it's, I think they're going to buy. I think they're going to keep it on Freshie here because his money is a little low. Yeah, and he opts for the full util. Don't necessarily mind that. And the rest of Boss will upgrade to whatever they can get. Again, it's not going to be necessarily full util because their money wasn't as healthy as it could have been.
Where does Freshie go? He's keeping the Molly nade. He gave I think his smoke over to one of his teammates.
Go ramp room. It's a good place for a close range engagement.
Yeah, they are going to leave him there. And he's actually going to anchor. I thought maybe he'd be the mobile player, but obviously you don't want to really go for a secret stairs peek with a Mackie. Okay, they're out by red. Wolfie's watching for this. Some noise. Here come the smokes. There's the clear. Good kill for Pwn alone. The trade. It's good for Cryptic. So he'll keep this. Even numbers. Actually posing that threat up top. Now they're going to crunch in. Boss, take lobby. So party astronauts are expecting that this would pull rotations lower, and they're wrong. Boss are hanging on to this. They've gone into lobby instead. They've anticipated this play.
Pwn is still secret, though.
Yeah, they've got options. They're keeping them open. With a minute on the clock, they want information. And 6E, he's making his way into heaven. He's not going to see anything because they're in lobby, right? So this is gonna be a bit of a blind faith decision. But if he spots no one on A, presumably they wrap into mini, and then they've got the control regardless.
Yeah, this has to be an A hit at this point with 60 into heaven. Here we go. Smoke is good, and no one's actually on the site proper now, which is great for the party astronauts. That Molotov should ensure the bomb plant. I imagine Pone feels safe. He does. So there we go. 3v3 post-plant situation. Darty already poking through that smoke.
No kits. They got to make some moves, but with the smoke still up, that allows Freshie to come through. They got a read on this being second vent. Molotov in. There's the swing. Well done on the first, but Pone alone. Important kill. Tagged up. 60's here. It's going to come down to the clutch, but 60's going to be A-okay to see that through. 3-piece for 60. And it does seem like he hasn't cooled off much from yesterday.
No, I was going to say he's on that 2 frag per round pace again. Well, it's only 3 rounds in, but still, that was a nice 3K. Clutching the 1v1 situation and giving his squad a 3rd round. Loss bonus is kicking into full gear here for Boss, but it didn't have an impact in this round. It will in the next. So you see them being a little more conservative on their buy-up. They actually could have invested a little bit more here, but go very, very conservative on their buy-up and send 4 players to the outer yard. In the meantime, while party astronauts are going full-on lobby with only Chop lurking around towards Marshmallow.
Yeah, it's a perfectly reasonable initial stack, right? You've been getting bullied at red box. You're getting bullied outside, so try and stump them. A little bit of a firing squad. 2 kills isn't the worst thing in the world from this. Both on Freshie, but Brett, last alive. He's got an isolated fight. Just keep swinging. No. Chop did get dinked, but it's A-okay. 4-0 is the start for PA.
And Pone gets that plant money. Interestingly for Pone, actually, yesterday, I think he only had something like 4 op frags. He hasn't necessarily had that impact all the time throughout these playoffs that he did in the regular season. Kind of similar to Wolfie, but the struggles haven't been as great because Ponelon's rifle is a little stronger than Wolfie's, and he's still able to hold his own in that regard. And he's also, similar to Wolfie, stepped up his game in terms of flashes, and he's thrown 0.71 per round, which is topping on the team, actually tied with Ben, which makes sense, and also has 0.11 flash assists per round. So that's leading the team for him. So he's still able to contribute regardless of the fact that his op hasn't necessarily been hitting as consistently. 60 gets the opening frag there, as you saw. Nade onto Wolfie.
Keeping up his pace, John.
Yep.
I needs 2 more, actually, to match the pace. 2 around. 2 more needed. That's Chop. Oh, Chop might have an opportunity here. Brett's watching it. I know the timing's going to get the better of him.
What?
And that's more. Ben, burning alive, gets the kills at the very least, but that dropped the bomb now in their clutches. This could get real weird.
I feel like Vent is the best choice. They went for a boost, though.
They don't have the C4.
Freshie, but they couldn't hit it.
They can't drop. The bomb's down and
60.
out. But 60, Dan Wu, he's back on pace. He's back on. It's Freshie alone. Has control of the C4 at least. Knows they have to come to him. But they get to pick how they do it. And eventually, he does have to consider the possibility they've gone for the full wrap heaven. That would be bold. But they're putting enough time in it just to put the paranoia in his mind. To add a 3rd element. More things he's got to think about. More things he's got to worry about. And all the while, 60 creeps closer. He's on the line now. Oh, he's past the angle. Freshie. Oh, deleted. Never expected it. A 4-piece in the round as 60 just keeps finding another gear.
Unbelievable for 60. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-show. He's leading the stat categories in so many respects. But to highlight a few, #1 in frags in these playoffs with 166 frags. #1 in kill to death differential at plus 39. And one of the more impressive ones, ADR, #1, 104.6 in 9 maps played, which is nuts. And his rating is 1.45, impact of 1.63. All of those #1 in the league throughout these playoffs. So 60 has been lighting it up. It's not just last night. It's been even before that he's been strong. Just last night was another level, and he continues here.
Yeah, last night, shall we say, elevated the numbers. But you're right. You're absolutely right. He's continued to do it, which, as I said, If the team's this hot, if you got the hot-handed 60, I don't really know how you stop it.
Oh, 60.
You kill him this round,
there.
but everybody else is here, no problem.
He just walked into like 3 crosshairs there. Oh, that nade misses the mark. Ben just kind of might have hit the end of his keyboard on that toss. Anyway, he gets the frag regardless, yeah, and that's going to make it 6-0 in favor of the Astronauts.
I did notice something as we were going live, John. I noticed 60's tweet about this game. He said playing for Pro League. Last night he told us it's the one event he's always wanted to play in. He's always had circled. Never been able to do so. Hasn't been able to get there with the team. I think he knows what he's playing for right now.
Oh, yeah. No question. He's bringing his S-tier game tonight. There's without a doubt in my mind. As the Party Astronauts, I mean, as a unit, look strong. Pwn Alone's looking good here, and he's got another one on Freshie. Blinded to boot. That's ramp cleared out. They've got a reinforcement in Wolfie. He's got to hit something. There we go. Wolfie getting his second frag on the map. It's an important one, but he has to back off because of that Molotov. So the Party Astronauts still gain the space regardless, and they'll take that trade every single day of the week. Brett holding here. Control, and that's a nice shot onto Ben Lee. The frag comes through. Not the second. Again, a good trade from PA, and they will fake the plant to try and bait out anyone that might be here, but there is no one. At least not yet.
No, there's no quick rotation. This is going to be a tough one because there's a player right here. Wolfie, no interest. He's out. He's gone. He's pulled the plug. Not feeling it. He just finally got the op up. Hasn't been able to op much at all this map. And he's loath to give it away here and now. 7 unanswered rounds, John. 7 rounds.
I don't... I don't know. Pierre playing that well right now, I guess. It's crazy.
It's a layer cake of everyone playing their A game, right? I mean, 60 is on another level, is untouchable. But then you have Ben is playing above his usual form.
Yes,
Pwn Alone has been on point, which we expect to be fair. But, you know, it's been a little shakier this last year. Now, definitely on form. Chop is like, I mean, this is what we know Chop for. This is what you and I have always praised Chop for. It's like, he's never taking the glam. He's never like in the sexy roles or, you know, taking the massive stats. But when he's on, he's so good and so dependable as sort of a backbone for the team. And then we're not even talking about Viz. Viz is just like, when Viz is the 5th guy that we're talking about, that's phenomenal. This PA roster is hard to touch.
I think in Viz and Chop, and maybe it's a little less so for Viz as he started playing Counter-Strike again, shaking off the rest, but they're 2 of the more consistent players in ECL and very dependable, very reliable. So to have those 2 both on your squad as the 4th and 5th riflers is really awesome. Cryptic is going to get the opener though. Finally, something for Boss to speak of here. And Pwn Alone flashes out, looking to gain that space. Wolfie drops down.
60.
He almost connects.
I think 60 saw Wolfie. I don't know if Wolfie saw 60, but now 60 passed, so I guess Freshie wasn't ready for it. Look at all this space. I mean, how do you deal with this? He knows there's an op above him. He's just being a nuisance, and Cryptic's not prepared for him to come back out. Why would you expect him to come back out? Wolfie's like, how do I deal with this? He's standing out in the open, basically. Because
60's going to see him.
How do you play against this?
Oh,
okay. Finally does. Maybe 60 overstaying his welcome. His teammates a little slow to actually group up with him.
Yeah.
They're waiting. What they were waiting for was for Viz to get activated, but they haven't been able to stay alive. So good initiative taken here by Boss. Still, the first on this clutch is underway. There's still 40 seconds. There's time to make this happen. Brett is isolated. Darty's in towards the site. It's possible. It's unlikely. But it's possible. Time's going to be the major pressure. The problem is with them not playing together, it's kind of 2 1v1s. And Darty has the right idea.
Oh man, like 60 wins that fight against Wolfie and the round is over. But, unfortunately for him, he finally cools off a little bit and is unable to finish that off. I would have almost rather him go in towards Heaven, maybe, and try to flank him, but I understand the idea regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there was a little bit of not being on the same page, right? Because it feels like most of them are calling a freeze call to let Fizz get forward. But if 60's fighting, then, I mean, if the guy's out towards Red Box fight, you've just got a hopeless situation for Wolfie. Still, finally a round on for Boss. Finally something they can build on. Now they just can't get it isolated.
Chop He's slipping through. He did this last time we saw them on Nuke as well, is slipping into garage and making life hell for anyone who's there. Already waiting on site proper, gets one freshie, another, but Ben is good for 2 trades. Will be waiting as Ben is able to respond, and he holds off a couple of players here from getting onto that A site. That's
the bomb's
a big
passed.
one.
The bomb's passed.
It is?
Cryptic slips down. But he's going to be in a 1v2. He's going to get pinched. This is going to be really weird because they don't know that the player's down secret. They had no information outside. So 60 has to avoid dying.
That's a
He's
good
going to pop a Molotov. Does that force Cryptic forward or back? It's actually past him.
Yeah.
Very fortunate for Cryptic. He can creep forward now. 60 has got to be ready for a player in control, and I don't think he's going to expect it. Drop down. Not working for Freshie. Tried to go with a bold maneuver. Shot pulls the line.
That's nice.
Nice
Wow.
From Wolfie. There's the tap on. 60's panicking a little bit. Player off of it. He's not on, but Cryptic's got the shot. Time aplenty for the defuse. Don't know why they're mollying at that point, but they will. Defuse will be there. Maybe a little bit of panic, but the round secured is the most important thing.
Maybe forgetting that there's no one left. Just
Not someone else is alive.
Right?
We've all been there.
That's just the nerves for Boss here, but they do get a second round in a row. That shot and movement from Wolfie was actually a thing of beauty, because if he overstays his welcome when he's swinging around, doesn't have the perfect timing on it, he gets dropped immediately. Instead, he swings around, gets the information, comes back, and hits a no-scope with the op to leave 60 by his lonesome. And as you talked about it, he was kind of panicking in the situation, which is understandable, with someone tapping the bomb and the opper sneaking up on you from vent. All right, Party Astronauts heading towards outer yard. Look at this spot from Wolfie, aggressive at the red box. This is going to be completely unexpected for the Party Astronauts, and there's an instant frag from Wolfie. Looks for the second and flicks with the no-scope. All right, Wolfie's back.
What
he
is
looks
this?
for the third. He's another no-scope.
Wolfie!
He goes down. Wolfie, oh!
Taking full command. Finally had to be put down by the HE, but talk about a little bit of flair. That's the way to answer to the flow state the Party Astronauts are in. You just get in our face and you take over. No more timid Wolfie. No more saving the op Wolfie. Wolfie is here to play and here to stay.
He's got the fangs out. He's ready to go. That is honestly what I was hoping to see from him today. That's a big round because his confidence was kind of shot on overpass when they were playing up against him, losing in overtime. Look at the 2 no-scopes. He didn't even scope in, didn't even think about it. Just instant, yep, this is going to be a no-scope frag. But yeah, it felt like his confidence was really wavering when he was up against M80. He missed, I think I counted 7 or 8 shots in a row towards the latter part of that overpass match in overtime, which was really, it was a struggle to watch, honestly, because he's a better player than that. That round in particular could give him the confidence to really shine, not only on this map, but throughout this series.
Nade, good timing on it. That's a massacre of a nade. Red drop, though. This could be a bomb plant. If they can deal with the Heaven presence, it could be around, but they can't. Now it's just Ben. And he is done for. A little closer than you would have suspected. Look at the health on Freshie and Wolfie, but the round is all that matters, and 4 players surviving means that we're now in the last of the half.
He was just running out with nade in his hands. Guys, where do I throw it? Where do I throw it? He's got tagged down to 15, and then he backed off and survived, but still. A great round for Boss. They get a 4th heading into the final round of this first half of action. 7-5 would be honestly quite good for Boss, considering that they were down 7-0 before this 4-round run. Timeout going to be called by the Party Astronauts, and honestly, over the last 2 BO3s they've played, this is the one where they've been challenged the most in terms of maps, because against Nouns, I don't think Nouns got 2 rounds in a row at any point yesterday.
No. No, they managed to slow down the onslaught, right? PA was having so much success just taking space, taking ground, getting real estate. And now they're going to have to think about the next step. Only 1 more round of this half. They've already secured 7. It's already a successful half for PA, but the momentum is not there. This was one of those where you felt like they were just getting run over, and that's changed now. Ramp's being held pretty tentatively. It's Freshie playing from hell. There's a player down lower, Wolfie, looking for this secret play off of the smokes. Right, he's being glued in. So the question is, can they overwhelm Freshy? Need to
think
pop the
they
smokes.
can.
They're flashbang for this. There is. He's holding the line, but he's dropped. Good damage on the 60 as well. Hell Molotov. Brett Ticken has to back away. Has to concede. So they're in towards lower. It's about Wolfie now. Oh, and Wolfie is deleted. The ult doesn't matter if you have 2 HP or 100. 60 ripping heads. Here, Brett rotating down. Bomb's going to be planted. And the spam net's nothing. So it's a full 3-on-3 retake. Albeit a very wounded CXCI. Looks a little frantic, though.
Yeah.
It really does. They're down to just smokes. One of those going to be deployed. There's one more potentially for the defuse. Big kill from Darty. And now it's all just that very wounded player in 60. He's got to get headshots. He's only got 5 bullets in, but these all have to be headies. And it's not going to happen. Defuse on. So 5 rounds. A rally here from Boss to give us a map as we head to the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Nothing but the fading light.
We got a game, John. We weren't sure we were going to have one for a moment there, but Boss find an answer to 7 unanswered rounds for Party Astronauts with 5 of their own.
Yeah, I mean, look, good job from Boss to get that recovery. Yep.
Wolfie got knifed.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
That's a little unfortunate.
Yeah. That's
It's a headshot anyway.
Oh, Cryptic, look at this. Gets 2 with the tech, and then Brett immediately takes down Chop. So we have a 4v2 in favor of Boss. That went from, oh no, Wolfie got knifed, now he's dead, to immediately in Boss's favor in less than a second.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a blood sacrifice, apparently. Appease the Eldritch gods, and the pistol round shall be yours. Boss offered up one on a silver platter. And Wolfie, you know, just being a team player there, being the blood sacrifice.
Yeah. Wolfie, we'll see if he can come back from that. That's fine. I don't even know why I'm saying that. 6-7 in favor of the party astronauts. Still, they do like to go for force buys in these type situations, but this time they say, you know what, Nuke, we need that economy. We can't just go for this force buy, and they say we're going to save. Even though on Nuke, typically that's where you see the force buy wars happen. Well, more on MR15, I would say, than MR12 now. It's changed things a little bit, but still.
Look at this from PA. They're massing outside, but this feels like a very specific read.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just completely avoided. I don't know whether this was a specific anti-strat here, but Wolfie's just slipped past all of them. This is just weird now. They've just like ships in and knighted the whole team.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Brett's at risk, but no, he was ready, and he gets a third as well. Standard anti-eco coming through from the boss side, and we are all tied up. 7 in a row from PA to start it off, then 7 in a row from boss in response. We're back where we started pretty much. 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS coming through for the party astronauts. On the other side, boss are going to carry forward 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the MAC-10, and they're going to have pretty much full utility versus party astronauts who do not. So that will be a bit of a difference maker more than likely going into this round.
John, I'm still trying to puzzle through what they did in that anti-eco, but I guess I can forget about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I didn't think that's probably a miss Molotov. That was a T-side molly. So a little bit of oddness in this round, and Cryptic's going to pay the penalty. Don't want to let 60 heat back up.
No.
It's a problem at the beginning of the map, so definitely would prefer to keep him on ice, or at least, you know, middling, if they can. Drop him alone on this line. This could be dangerous. Molotov confirms presence is here. All about the timing. Chop will peek off of Ponalone's contact, and there they go. Nice. 1-2 punch, played to perfection. Brett and Freshie left. Very cut off from each other. He'll find the first, though. And now there's a little bit of chaos, a little bit of discord, a little bit of pandemonium. Problem is the bomb's down. But Freshie catches Viz. This round's getting interesting.
Yeah, but now he's the last one standing and spotted, taken down to 14. I think, oh, he got the A1S. That could help. The health is just so low that he has to hit only headshots, and it's not an AK, so it needs to be 2 headshots.
He's saving, I think. He can't drop. There's no time. He knows if he goes down vents, he's dead. He knows he doesn't have time to rotate to approach it from a different direction.
Yeah.
It's the smart call. It's more than his loss bonus would be by a substantial amount, and they're going to be buying into the next one, so this is absolutely the smart call here. It does mean that boss aren't going to be able to seize the lead. Party astronauts will hang on.
Yeah, it's just a good opener from 60, and then, as you mentioned, over in the lower site, Chop, along with Ponalone, playing off of each other perfectly, giving boss absolutely zero chance of gaining headway in that direction. And Freshie being stuck by himself. Lucky to be alive, honestly, after the engagement from Heaven. Finds the upgrade and decides to save it. Good idea. I don't know how much he has left, but either way, just some util and armor, and then he's ready to go with the rest of his team. Perhaps we're going to finally start seeing some back and forth rounds here. 4 AKs and the A1S that Freshie saved over. And I mean, you're absolutely right, Mike. Even with the buy up of what, even with what he bought up, it's still $2,000 in the bank for him, which will help. Of course, he can drop some pistols in the next round should they lose this one. But if they win, well, even better. Nade's going to get, Smoke's going to get popped by the nade immediately here for the party astronaut. They know no one's crossed over yet. Cryptic tags 60 down to 47, but 60 and Viz team up for 2.
Here's the answer, though.
What?
Wolfie. Flash barely cleared from his eyes. He's getting kills, but there it goes. Ponalone putting together a 2-piece at just the right moment. Bomb dropped to 9. Full control from Ben Lead and Ponalone. A dynamic duo that's been together for so many years at this point, John.
Oh, absolutely. And Ponalone, as I mentioned, has been doing it with the rifle very effectively on the party astronauts throughout these last two BO3s. And I mean, in Counter-Strike 2, in general, you have to kind of favor the rifle sometimes over the AWP, especially if you're not feeling it and your movement is even slightly off. It's a lot harder to find your rhythm.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Ponalone and Ben Lead have been teammates since 2019.
You would probably be correct. They've been together for at least 10 seasons now.
I
Oh,
don't think there's been an interruption in there. Let's see. Can we get a bomb plant down? Cryptic has it. Cryptic has a rifle. No armor's going to make this tough. And he wants the fight with Sixy. He wants the headshot, feeling that that's maybe the one chance towards a round win. Gonna be tough to see a path to that. Let's see if they can do that.
there's the bomb plant. Okay. Oh, yeah,
It's a big gain.
that's worse.
Yeah. PA making sure they didn't lose any unnecessary bodies, right? They were willing to concede the plant.
Yeah.
It's going to be a buy next round regardless. Obviously, the plant makes it a little better, but you got 10 rounds on. That's the important part here for Ponalone and for the party astronauts.
And also, money is good. And there's that foundation that you really needed. Chop got to get an upgrade there from the FAMAS to the A1S. Overall, I agree. Party astronauts conceded the plant, but it doesn't really matter. It was more important for them to keep the bodies up. So a 10th round is in their possession. Off we go. Round number 18. Boss have the full buy. Can they finally break back through here and end the run for the party astronauts a little sooner than it was ended last time? Because if they don't, party astronauts are going to run away to the finish line. Chop! Oh, I think that Molotov was guising his position because Wolfie couldn't zero him in. Now the smoke's going to come in. Chop is just going to wait again at Mini. Boss has that control of lobby. Sixy thinks something might be up towards Secret. And he could be right soon, so I don't mind him taking up this position. It'll be about timing here. 3 players headed out in this direction. Wolfie's watching Garage down to about half health. The only player who's taking damage on his team so far. Molotov sails in. Is that deep enough to push 60 back? It is.
He is, but he's flirting with the edge of it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can't give up the audio cue, but you know as soon as it fades, he's going to be slipping up the stairs. And here he goes. See if he can find the gap. He does find one. Now they know that threat's at their back, but they get the kill in the front. That's so important. Ponalone's able to trade it and slip away. Don't know if he knows that Darty's so far forward. But he did get a kill from this angle, but Ponalone loses track of him, and that's a huge find from Darty. That could be the difference maker in this one.
I'm really surprised Sixy falls back to the B site in that situation, given how much presence he probably knew was up there, but maybe he thought someone flanked. Anyway, Viz is going to get one back. Freshie, his latest victim. And now Sixy's on an interesting little route.
Sixy hears it.
Yeah.
There's no world where they'd expect him. He was down secret, right? They're not going to expect him to be here. Oh, the more time this utility can buy. Wolfie's now spotted. He's a dead man. And now that he's gone, the bomb, they have to drop to get it. This is so tough for Darty. It's not happening. So Sixy's flank, that winds up being the absolute key. The rotation is perfect. It could not be better timed. And the Viz played it beautifully as well, using his utility, stalling it out, just toying with Wolfie to make sure he couldn't get onto the spot.
I mean, Sixy can do no wrong, it seems. You know, I called him out a little bit for falling back off of that fight towards mid, and then he goes on a flank and gets 2 frags to win the round. So, yeah, he's up to 22 now, Mike. Oh, goodness me.
He is indeed. Well, hopefully we'll be hopping in just a moment here, but you get to look at our faces for a little bit, as it seems like we're getting a little bit of an internet sorted issue here. Still, look, party astronauts are now in pole position to close this out, right? They're looking very good. They've got the economy behind their CT side now. They started to look very snappy on the defense. If you're boss, you didn't get a bomb planted that one. Things are starting to get high pressure, and there's only 2 more rounds till PA take this one through.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it felt like they should have had a bomb plant situation. They had party astronauts on the ropes. Viz is able to get that important one to bring it down to a 2v2, and then Sixy's decision to go on that flanking run, or at least to check what's happening on the backside of B at ramp, that was the right decision, and that's what led to Wolfie being fragged, even though Wolfie had an inkling at one point. I saw him scoped in at HUD. He's like, oh, maybe something's going to happen here. But then Viz, with all that utility and all that attention he drew, gave Sixy that brief window of opportunity to come around the corner and drop Wolfie.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how it plays out. Unfortunately, it does seem like we have a little bit of time here, folks. So while we wait for things to be sorted out, we're going to take a quick break. Hopefully that magically fixes everything, and we can be right back. And we're back. Should be live in just a moment here, folks. So apologies for that. We had some internet issues that needed to be sorted out. But it is a 4-round gap between Party Astronauts and Boss. And Party Astronauts, momentum in their favor. An eco forced out from Boss. This could be map point found.
Yeah, I mean, Sixy said he had to restart his router. I think he just had to change batteries because clearly he's a robot with the type of performance he's putting on here throughout these last 2 days. 11-7 in favor of PA, and they're looking for their 12th now. We will get going. And,
I will say the last time these two teams met on Nuke, 13-7 for PA. So
you're right. Yeah.
a repeat here, perhaps. Let's see how closely did it mirror.
That
it?
was-
Did the scriptwriters get lazy? Did they reuse it?
Stop it.
Let's see. Nuke. 4-8 at the half. Nope, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. 4-8 at the
Slightly
half, and then
different.
3-5 split.
Slightly different, but that was in the regular season, by the way. That was the end of the regular season where Party Astronauts played against Boss, and I think 60 mentioned it yesterday. He said, "I'm not too worried about playing them because we already beat them 2-0 the last time we faced off against them." So yeah,
True.
the only difference is that we're not seeing Mirage here this time. It's going to be Ancient as map 2.
That would have been the decider of that series had they gotten to it.
Yeah, that's right.
60 did top frag that one, but he's already toppled his total. He had 19 kills in that map. 22 here already. There's more rounds
23.
to play. And there's more kills coming through. Ben Leet will pick up 2, but 60 got his 23rd.
I mean, this was a half buy, completely neutralized by those two players in ramp, 60 and Ben Leet. Chop gets Cryptic, Brett the last one standing, and well, he is dead to right. There you go. Viz finds the last 12-7. Party Astronauts 5 opportunities to close out this map and send us on over to Boss's pick of Ancient. Last time the Party Astronauts played Ancient was a little while ago, I think. They didn't play it over the last 3 VO3s and haven't played it throughout these playoffs. Just going to double check that.
Find out. But this is a faster play. Ben Leet getting chased down. He knows it. Look at the casualties. Look at the damage done, though, from utility. So Ben's done a good job of wounding them up. Gets the smoke up as well. Can use a rotation. He's not going to get it just yet. They're still trying to fight with Viz.
Jeez, that damage, though.
It's meaty. And now Opponent Alone's down here to help him out. So whichever way you go, you're being contained. You're being hemmed in. Question becomes, what can they find? They'll hold on the ramp and they'll shift back in towards lobby. I don't mind it. You need to show a different look. The initial foray was revealed. It wasn't quite rebuffed, but you didn't really get anything in terms of frags out of it. They are still threatening lower, despite these two players up top. Maybe trying to do a vent drop link up.
I mean, they still don't have to commit to the B site. Oh, look at this peek from Ben. He gets one, traded immediately. That's good from Freshie. Cryptic.
You wanted info.
Yeah, and at least he gets that info and knows that 2 players are here. Opponent Alone's ready to fire. He gets that. And now they have to back off more than likely. They're going to try and swing to the A side, especially with Darty finding Chop. 60 almost gets the trade, but Cryptic slips away with 9 health. Viz and
they're going to rotate up the ladder. They don't know Viz is here. They don't know Viz is here. Uh-oh, that's the bomb. It drops back down. Fortunately, that's a stroke of good fortune.
20 seconds, though.
Game would be over if it didn't. Wolfie, he's got to make a play, and he knows it. Viz is just, if he just holds him at bay, it's over. It's over. They've got to go down. They can't go up. They have to go down. They have misplayed this. Wolfie might barely just be able to get a play. He does indeed. Molotov over. He's going to burn, and the flames will do it, and with it go the map. Hone Alone serving the Christmas roast just a little bit early, and they're having Wolf for dinner.
Oh man, what a map from Party Astronauts, right? They start off with a 7-round win streak, and then they go on another win streak after they get to that second half. It's ridiculous. Both teams back and forth and just having some crazy runs, but Party Astronauts 60 is on a tear. He continues to get 20 plus frags on maps. I mean, yesterday, yes, he only had 17 on Inferno, but overall had 47. Today, it looks like he's on pace for a similar story, but we're going to Ancient now, and the last time I found that the Party Astronauts played on Ancient was pretty recent. It was against Mythic in the regular season. They won that 113-8, but before that, it was a 5-13 loss to the Evil Geniuses. So there are some vulnerabilities here on that map of Ancient, and it is Wolfie's best map in the pool. We'll talk about those stats a little bit later, though.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I mean, we might as well talk about him now because
sure,
I think once we're done talking about him, we'll take a break. So, John, what you got for us?
Yeah, so over the last 5 maps of Ancient for Wolfie, he's got a 1.63 rating, 122 frags, 4 times 26 plus frags in that span out of 5 maps, plus 61 kill to death differential, a KDR of 2, and a 99.2 ADR, with 2 of those maps being 110 plus ADR.
So that's what you got to look forward to on our second map when we come back from this break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Map number 2 about to kick off between Party Astronauts and Boss. PA are just 1 away from the ESL Pro League here, John.
Wow. That's going to be something special. I mean, for either team to get it, it'll be special, but even more so because we understand what it means to that entire squad and 60 in particular. So, yeah, again, though, Ancient, it's not going to be a walk in the park, I wouldn't think, with how good Boss has been here as of late. 11-5 plus 31 round differential, and Wolfie has been on a tear on this map. Even in a loss against M80, he still had 24 frags. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from him. Here comes the hit from Boss onto the B side, drops whiffing on every single shot. Brett finally ends his misery. And then Cryptic gets Ben Lee right after Viz manages to find, well, actually a couple here. It's still a 3v2 edge though.
Brett now making it a lot more viable. There's still 60 alive though. It's 60, John.
Will he clear left?
He's got to clear left and right. And he won't look left. Call him Zoolander because Freshy's putting a bullet into his temple, and this one is over. I mean, if he'd cleared left, he would have died from right, so that's really pick your poison. Well set up from Boss. They do like these pistols.
They do indeed, but let's see if they can actually capitalize it off of it this time. Party Astronauts did not force up the last time they were losing a pistol on their CT side, and, well, they're doing the same thing here. Again, going for the full-on eco. The only thing they purchased is a flashbang. Speaking of flashbangs, Freshly going to toss one over to mid so that his team can walk out there and gain some space. 3 players in red behind this smoke. That could be dangerous for Boss if they venture in that direction. Ben peering around, trying to see where they might go. And in fact, no, they're just pushing out directly into the crosshair of Brett and Darty. Only Brett goes down. 3 frags for Boss. Make it 4.
Ooh, thought there was going to be a TK in there somewhere. Viz gets 1. So at least a couple blemishes on, but nothing substantial. Boss are going to get a hot start to this game. The gun round comes out now. Presumably, it's kind of a bonus round, right? You keep the 2 guns through.
Yeah. Interesting note here, Mike. 60 for the first time in 4 maps did not get a frag in the first 2 rounds.
All right. Yeah, true.
Yep.
He has not just killed everybody.
Yep.
Ended 22, and I don't know what exactly the numbers were, but they were good in the last map. Molotov down. Cryptic gonna brave that. The tick of the Molotov, it's better for information than it is just the damage. Ben Lee gets 2 and he's able to slip away. And 60 is here. This time, oh, he's not gonna get anything either, but his teammates certainly are. Good shot from Brett. Looked like 60 had at least 1 dead to rights, if not 2. A bomb plant, though, that might be too much to bear. Everybody's already here for the retake. They're trying to bait him, and yeah, there's the drop on Freshy. It all falls to Wolfie. First one found, 3 more to needed. The bomb dropped means that this one might just be impossible. He's going to try and give him the old slipperoo into Temple. Just checking his flank. Once he makes contact with one, the other 2 should strike, and there it is. Chop puts him in the dirt. Party Astronauts right on the board as the guns come out.
Yeah, I mean, look, 60 blanked in that round again, which is surprising. It was a great shot required from Brett to keep Boss's hopes alive in the round, but that 2K right there that you just saw from Ben Lee was the key play for the Party Astronauts to deny Boss the bomb plant and, of course, the round.
So, John, I did go back and check. He ended on a 2.01 rating.
Oh my
60,
god.
23 and 14, 137 ADR, 90% KAST, 2.01 rating. That is now 3 maps in a row above a 2 on the HLTV rating. That is unfathomably good. Just does not happen. But maybe he's used up all of his magic pixie dust because this round he's dropped down. The damage is immense, but look at this. They've gotten another kill. This could be disastrous now. They'll clear up the flank. They'll clear up the periphery. Wolfie will take the bomb towards mid, but there's no one on A.
Mike, you said he finished with 23, right?
Yes.
He's only had 1 frag since he restarted his router.
There you go.
Why did he restart
turn
it?
it off again.
Ah! Anyway, look, 3v2 in favor of Boss here. Ponalon and Chop.
This could be a save.
Yeah, I don't think they're aware of how low Brett... Oh, wow.
No,
Even though he's at 7
yeah.
HP, he still gets the frag, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, now definitely a save. Boss isolating the round victory for the Party Astronauts, and they'll have a 3-1 lead. As mentioned, this is a map they're exceptionally comfortable on, so it's not a surprise to see them get off to this hot start.
They are indeed. They are indeed. And I mean, in that retake, right? Yeah, it was a 2v3, but it was just so uncomfortable in the positioning that I'm honestly surprised they even give it a look. I mean, the look from elbow, maybe if you get that quick kill, something's going, but not going to happen. 3 players will survive for Boss, and this is where they can start to put their feet under them. Yeah, Ben could drop some upgraded pistols if they wanted to try and put something around this AK from Trop, but I'd imagine they'll just try and keep it healthy.
I think he'll drop some pistols. At 5.3k, he's so far ahead of everyone else. Really? Really, Ben? Okay. Well, I suppose it's fine. He can drop the op for Pwn alone in the next round, which is probably the idea, so I respect it. Freshie going to throw that flash, and a lot of utility coming out towards mid from Boss. They've got control of it with the smoke thrown for Red Room as well, but they choose to go into the direction of the B site instead. 2 players there, 3 over on the A site. Again, it's just pistols aside from the AK that Chop has in his hands, brought over from the previous round. Wolfie walks out. Could be a freebie. It is. Chop, though, with that AK, as mentioned, could swing around and do damage here. Chop, 1 and only 1. Great work from Darty to ensure that Chop is limited in his impact there. Now a 4v3, and the rest of the Party Astronauts are rotating around to try and regain the space in the B site. And I mean, they've gotten here in time.
Yeah, potentially. You can see how trepidatious Boss are, right? They don't want to make the blunder right now. They saw the AK, so they're expecting a little bit of the stack around it. Spray down for Brett. Oh, he thinks he got the kill, but he snaps back. Just 60. Best case scenario here is getting a gun. Find one. At least wets his whistle. Cracks the goose egg. But it is still 4 rounds on. A very nice start to Ancient. And Brett, man. Brett is on one. 11 and 2. He has been lethal here, John.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about the consistent players of Chop and Viz on the Party Astronauts. Brett is that enigma to me, right? Like, sometimes he comes out with these types of performances. You're like, oh my goodness, Brett, what's happening? And other times he's just at the bottom of the scoreboard and really can't find his rhythm. Luckily, of course, for Boss here, he is doing quite well at the beginning Ancient, and especially considering they're down 0-1 in maps, they need this. Then Late, though, is going to get Wolfie immediately. 60 ends Brett's run. And it's a 5v3. I was going to say the bad news for Boss is that 60 got a frag in that previous round, so his engine started. Now,
there you go.
Who knows?
Yeah, don't let him warm up.
Yeah.
Keep him iced. Chop. I mean, this is a shutdown of a round, right? You got this elbow presence. We're 30 seconds in. We're 35 seconds in. They haven't even gotten past the elbow smoke. It hasn't even faded. And everybody's dead. A bit of a disaster here for Boss. Didn't respect the mid utility, and they suffered for it. But let's see. I mean, finding damage, even if you can't get a bomb plant, that would be huge.
Yeah.
But it looks like, based on their posturing, a minute of saving, that's a tough ask.
I think you're right, though. It feels like that's what they want to do. It could just
For
be
a
that.
minute?
I mean, it could just be that Freshie's watching the flank and they're going to push out at around 30 seconds. But honestly, yeah, it's a full minute save.
I guess I understand it, because if they hunt you, like punishing the rifles that hunt you then makes it worth it, kind of. But it's, yeah, all right, we're just going to sit here for a little bit. So it gives me time to talk about Brett. Because, you know, Brett's a guy who's been around for a very long time. You may not even realize how long his competitive career was, because he used to go by Hyper.
Oh, right. No, that's a different Brett. Sorry. Is it?
No, that's the same Brett. He changed his tag from Hyper to Brett way back when. He first popped up on my radar
forever ago,
really with that Warriors International roster back in 2020.
Okay.
That was their foray into the ECL. I think he may have even had some MDL games before that on Trivium. Looking back on it, there were some other rosters, but really Warriors International was where I majorly started to take notice of him, and he's been a mainstay of the league ever since.
I completely forgot he used to go by Hyper, and now that you mention it, I remember casting him as Hyper back in Advanced. So that's wild, man, that he's been around for so very long, and of course that long stint with the 3rd Impact squad, and now has found his place on Boss.
And it's cool to see, right? Because he's a guy who's stuck with it and has just steadily improved from roster to roster. Now in this project, obviously they're a series away from the Pro League.
Yeah.
So, good to see.
And even if they don't make Pro League, this was a fantastic season, especially given all of the challenges that they faced with the org deciding to drop them, losing their Opper, luckily getting another one. Oh, Brett's going to eat a nade here, down to 52. Doesn't want to give up his spot, though, so he's going to keep himself tucked behind those boxes.
But it harkens back to that connectivity we have between Ben, Leet, Pono. These are guys who've been around a long time. 60 as well. There's this... they've played a lot of maps of Counter-Strike against each other over the years.
The nades are on point. Mortar strikes coming through from the party astronauts. They want to find their 3rd. Boss kind of stalling out here. Now they're finally making a move in towards Jaguar, but a smoke is thrown to make them wait even longer unless they decide to flash through and just go for it. But they only have 1 flash. That's in Brett's hands, and he's not there. This could be
bad. They've been stalled out massively. It's the 3-man stack here as well. There's still Molly's. Molly goes in with 35 seconds. That tick players, they get confirmation. I'm actually surprised we don't see another player float through, but this is why.
This is a panic
Boss realizing they're locked out. This is the bailout. They're trying to move in towards A. They've got no time to spare, so 60 finds both. And now the op on the scene in the hands of Ben Leet. That's not the gun you expected him to have. But a bomb plant might just be an impossibility. It's all on Freshie, and a desperate plant in the smoke is what he's going to go for, just hoping that the op can't find him. He's right about that. There's no further he can go.
Jeez. Yeah, double op has become a lot more sparse in CS2, right? Because of how the op was, of course, nerfed and the peeker's advantage. Usually, we always see that solo op, but Bentley used to run the double op with Ponalone quite frequently. So, you know, it's coming back a little bit here for Ancient, and it worked out exceptionally well as they get their 3rd round victory. Not to mention, of course, 60 facing off in the front lines, getting 2 to soften up that push before they get onto the site. So a 3rd round found for the party astronauts. Boss's lead is looking a lot more paltry now. 3 Tech 9s, a P250, and a Deagle. They've got the body armor upgrade, so a half buy comes through here. It's still going to be a very tough ask for them to come through with a round victory. All 5 players are leaning into the B site. They've already made their way out of the double doors, and the party astronauts are not going to be over aggressive here. Pone is tucking himself into Jaguar with the op, and that nade does a decent chunk of damage. Viz exposed. He will have to fall back into cave, and they're under a lot of pressure here. They could lose 1, and they do. Luckily, Chop and Viz get a couple.
Bomb's not down yet. Bomb's not down. This is a missed opportunity if they don't get it down. Pone alone. Pinched. This is actually a very dangerous round now. The op's picked up. We do need to get the C4 secured, but 60 and Ben were a little far afield. 60's got to pick his path towards it. The op's in the hands of Cryptic instead of Wolfie. There's virtue of who picked up which gun when, but it's going to work out for Cryptic. Now it comes down to 60 in the clutch. This is an eco. This was an eco. And 60's going to give up his position, and Wolfie's there to punish. Oh, it's a catastrophe. Party astronauts overwhelmed, panic against the pistols, and Boss. That's a massive round to find.
You felt it getting sloppy when I was talking about Viz having to fall back into cave. Like, they lost their presence on site, and Ponalone was already being pinched in from Jaguar, so he had to try and deal with that. Viz was looking to help out, but he'd taken damage already before he'd gotten into cave. And then, at the same time, Boss uses that opportunity to send their other 2 players up, and it creates pandemonium for the party astronauts. That's a really good half buy coming through from Boss. They get a 5th round on the board, a little boost to their economy, and Wolfie's got the op back in his hands as well. I like the way Cryptic played that too. He had the... Oh, we're going to talk about it after. 60 is going to get an opening fight here. It's Ben Leet who finds the opener, but Cryptic comes back with 2, swinging out of the B double doors. Nade toss does damage to Ben. 60 wants to peek around, and he's not going to get the frag. A lot of damage done, but more to him than he dealt to Cryptic. He does get a rifle out of it, but...
Well, the rifle is Ben's.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Ben died behind him. So the upgrade's there, but certainly not worth the cost. This might just be a save situation. They're going to stack the B site. If they come towards B, a chance to defend. But more often than not, more likely than not, these guns will just try and live into the next round. And Boss are absolutely making the right call here, reading what's happening. Bomb's going to go down on A uncontested. And at that point, with the money that you've got banked, well, I actually don't know how heavily they're going to want to hunt this. This might be a little bit of a peace treaty, shall we say. A little bit of a chill out. Let everyone take their guns into the next.
Yeah, I can finish talking about that previous round now. But what I was going to say, in that 2v2, I like that Cryptic held on to the op. Wolfie was obviously still alive, but Cryptic had the angle, and he knew that swinging around, dropping the op, trading it with Wolfie would take too much time. So he just holds it, gets Ben lead, and even though Party Astronauts had 4 pieces of utility, a Molotov and a smoke in the mix there, didn't get a chance to use it. There was only 1 smoke for Boss. So well done. They win the fights, and I mean, 60, I feel bad for him in that situation because the timing was completely off. I think he wanted to smoke the bomb. He spotted someone, panic, dropped the smoke to the ground, and then, of course, he gets just wiped away by that player on Boss. So now into this round, well, pretty standard affair for Boss. They win the fights immediately, and they get a 6-3 lead. They've doubled up on the Party Astronauts here in this first half.
Looking good for Boss. And it's the rest of the team that's come alive as well. We were talking about Brett. He was 11-2. Well, everyone else has had to pick up the pace since then. Cryptic having himself a nice scoreline as well. It's looking good. What do you do to try and maximize these 2 guns? You could go for the classics, like the boost up, the peek down ramp. We can play the rifles together. No, one towards either site. Not a bad idea. Spread out the potential impact.
Yeah, that Molly guy's the peak right there.
Is he getting aggressive on it? Oh, this could be spicy. This could be spicy, John. He's not cowed just yet. Inching around bit by bit. What do you got for us, Pone?
It's a good angle. Oh, it's being held on the other end, though.
It is. It's all about timing right now. They don't know it, but it's a standoff. Damage on the Brett. Whoa, there's the tag. There's the tag. Gonna set them up for the pistols. There's another one here in the corner. Lazy clear, but oh, Cryptic double checks. Cryptic double checks. Had to do so or it was done. And the op gets run down. And with it, that should be the round. 60 was trying to force the issue, knowing that some damage was done. Look, there's a possibility for Ben to find something. Another kill, another something. Just based on how low they are, but no. Darty catches him on the timing. So all 4 will survive. And most importantly, the round goes their way. 7 on the T side here for Boss.
I mean, yeah, Party Astronauts were just keeping a couple of rifles alive from that previous round. The rest were pistols, but unlucky because so much damage done to Brett by 60 at mid. Brett escapes with his life, and then a leg shot from Pone alone at ramp, and another player escapes with their life. And both of them survived out of the round, like you said. So that's just tough luck for PA. They will have a buy up here. It's not going to be great, though. Loss bonus at 2,900 doesn't give them as much as they would hope for. Timeout going to be called for them to talk things over. 2 FAMASs, 2 A1Ss, and 60, well, probably the A1S as well with 4,400 in the bank, and there you go. Boss. Doing a great job. Not the player I expected being at the top there with Brett and Cryptic taking pole position with 11 frags each, and Wolfie only at 4. Maybe he'll pop off on that CT side.
Maybe, but you'll take it.
Yeah,
whatever
of course,
the engine's
boss,
going to be.
It doesn't matter, right?
No, certainly not. And again, this is another feather in the cap of Cryptic. We've heaped some praise on him coming into this series. It's well deserved. He's calling a good game, and he's fragging out as well. There's one of those where you gotta start taking notice. This region is starved for effective IGLs, and well, now we got Viz trying to effectively cut them down. Cryptic manages to limit it to just 1, even trades there. Now it's about shot, but he's just got a 5-7. An M4 would have made short work, but instead now, man disadvantage. They might not realize Ben Leet's already out here. Oh, they don't. They don't know. Oh, Ben Leet's got both, and they know where the last player is. They could just defuse, or they'll just kill him. That works too.
Kill him and defuse. There you go.
It's like, I mean, there was time. You wouldn't have been able to deny the defuse, or you could just kill him too.
Yeah. Why not both? 4th round found for the Party Astronauts. That's a great recovery after Boss were able to shut them down in that previous one. And it
you could
wasn't
see
a
them
full-on buy with 2 Mosses in the mix. Yep, go ahead.
Well, you could just see them go scavenging immediately afterwards. They're like, all right, get everything off these bodies you can. We need every nade. We need to stretch this as far as possible. One more round, please.
Yeah, and Ben, that's another critical 2K. He's had so many important impact frags in 2 of the 4 rounds they won. So, good to see from both IGLs, right? Both IGLs making their mark on this map. 60 already towards the bottom of mid. Just a little bit of damage from that util. He's going to eat a nade to hold that spot. And oh my goodness, Darty almost takes Chop down through the panel towards the B site. Chop is on notice, having to think, what the heck is going on here? How am I this low? Dixie is taken down, and Brett gets a 2-piece.
That's an activation and a half. What a time to find it. Viz, it's a bit of a blunder. Trying to make the bold play, knowing that situation's a little out of whack, and, well, goes from bad to worse now. 5v2, looking like an 8th round nailed on for Boss, unless Pone alone or a very wounded Chop have some serious heroics for us. Oh, Freshy's got the timing. Goodbye, Pone alone. Chop, not long for this world. Unless. Not to be. 8 rounds on for Boss, looking great on their own map choice. We'll be back in a flash.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
We're back in. Double the scoreline for Boss of their opponents. But now Party Astronauts on the T side. Let's see if they can get something going. Death Ball early. All 5 moving towards B.
Need those rounds quickly. Boss 4-round lead, not insurmountable by any means for the Party Astronauts, but Boston looked pretty good, pretty solid. Cryptic waiting behind here on the site dropper, and Chop deletes him immediately. That's the site completely taken. Good smokes thrown as well, and bomb is planted. Brett trying to spam through, hoping to connect with a lucky headshot, but Chop's going to be the one dropping heads. 2 frags for him, and only Brett and Darty, both grouped up together, are trying to get back into this site.
Chop heating up. Chop heating up. Darty's got 1. That should be about it. Brett some heroics, but it's all for naught. Too many targets to find. Just not a possibility there. Nice pistol round for Chop. Just mowing through the competition. PA starts out on the right foot here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty bog standard pistol round strat, putting 2 smokes for the B site, 1 for short, 1 for long, and then you just go and hit the site. You just need that 1 frag usually, and you're able to get the bomb plant, which is exactly what happens. And then afterwards, well, just a bit of a sloppy attempt at a retake from Boss, and Chop lighting them up for 2 frags. Nice headshots, great crosshair placement, and that leads to a full-on eco here for Boss. His lead is cut to 3 and might be down to 2 after this. Patience from the Party Astronauts, though. They do have control of mid. Sixy walks right through and says, you know what, I'm just going to group up here. There's no reason for me to wander on my own. I've already got the lurk. And Ben Leet.
And Ben Lee.
Ben's going to get a lot. Oh, maybe he won't get info. We'll see. We'll see. They're walking through.
Timing could get kind of funky here. Ball needs to not get caught. Okay, now he knows. Oh, spot on the first. Thinking, tasty ecos. And then he's thinking, wait, look pretty silly if I die here. Ben Lee, keeping it under control. In this round, should be just about done. Roland wants to make some money. Wolfie denies. No cash for you.
2 HP for Wolfie. I mean, probably won't live. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to think about site. Like if he hides in the corner, the far corner of A, I think he survives.
Yeah, assuming no one chases him down, which they absolutely will. So just too many factors here for Wolfie, and there it is. Sixy gets a little bit of cash, picked up the Mac 10 specifically to make money, and then gets the Galil back, which was ferried over to him.
I love that. I love that little detail. It says, I know he's so low. Give me the Mackie. Let's just make it happen.
Well, that's $300. You know, that's an HE right there. That could be a game changer. That could be the difference between a victory and defeat.
I mean, you kind of joke about it, but it's true.
Like, I'm not joking. That was in the details, John.
It felt like a joke voice, though. But
no, I was having some fun. You're right. You're right. But I do believe, genuinely, the small details could be the difference between teams.
Absolutely. Counter-Strike is a game of little details, more so than you realize, right?
It's why, if you're always wondering, you know, why players, like at the end of a half when they've literally won the game, still have those moments where they're like picking up the extra nade or swapping the gun or whatever. It's because it's just muscle memory. Just doing it right so consistently. Practice the way you play. Make it so that it's so rote that you never make the mistake if not.
Exactly that. 113 on the clock, round number 15. Wolfie and
aggression.
Yeah, very aggressive here.
That's Wolfie pushing in with him. This is kind of a spicy setup because look at the mass now coming from Party Astronauts. A lot's going to be on Wolfie. There's not the utility to bail out if this goes awry. And actually, the bulk of the push is going to come from ramp itself. So maybe it's Darty, rather, who's going to have the weight of the world stacked up on him. Now, Wolfie's pulled away.
Yep. I thought they were going to push up for a moment, but then they froze.
Smokes out. There is one for Wolfie, but he's going to go past it. He's going to risk it. Gets a kill as a result. Darty traded out for 1. You know where Wolfie is? They haven't revealed Cryptic just yet. Cryptic will punish. His patience rewarded. And they're trying to deny the bomb plant, but Pone alone. Oh! Cryptic still does. 20 seconds. Time is such an issue now. And Shop knows there's likely a player coming his way. Tries to bait this. Freshie swings, and Freshie's got the kill. Oh, huge play from Cryptic just to live.
Yeah, I mean, great movement from Freshie coming around that corner with the MP9, and Cryptic spamming through the wall and getting that one perfect spam and aim right there, as he's got 15 now, leads the charge, 14 for Brett right behind him, and that's a very important 9th round found by Boss. Party Astronauts on the other side, I mean, still far from over. They've got the ability to recover here. They do force up into this round because it leads to 3 rifles. 2 Tech 9s, very serviceable. They charge right into mid, into the crossfire of Freshie and Brett, but they come up pretty well. Ben Leet ends up getting a 2K, 3v3. Yes, he is low, but they've got a lot of space gained here, and all 3 players on Boss are spread out.
And there's guns down as well, which is kind of interesting. You're going to get an upgrade. Ben Leet going to get checked, but can Pwn alone trade it? No.
Wow,
Spacing poor on that one, and Cryptic is just not missing a beat. He watched 60 on the first map and said, you know what? I can do that too. But Chop's been the heavy hitter for PA. So he's got a chance still to make something here. Into the op, though. Wolfie finds the timing, and that is a huge round for Boss. It looked like it could get out of control, but they keep 3 alive. They keep the money flowing, and they'll force PA down to an eco.
Yeah, Cryptic likes his Anubis and Ancient, the 2 newest maps in the pool. Last time against M80, he was 20 and 18 on Anubis. Here on Ancient, even better, 17 and 7. Double digits found for Boss. Another thing that's great for Cryptic is typically he's also going for openers or entry frags. He's got 13 coming into the series anyway in the playoffs. And when he gets an opener, his team wins 92.3% of those rounds. So he's a very important piece for this squad. Of course he is, because he's the IGL, but also when he's going for those openers.
Just on the pistols here. Well, if you're looking for contact, SMG might be robbing him. Oh no, and he misses. But he does get the shot.
This is bad. This is bad.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wolfie run down. Guns picked up. If they kill Donut, this is so weird. There's the Donut frag. Cryptic is here. But Chop trying to hit more. Got the purple op. And he's frying with it. It's already gotten so expensive. Creeping into temple. He's got time. He's got a minute. Question is, how do they read this, right? I mean, he could have slipped all the way back out A main, but that would be bold. And you can tell Darty's holding for this temple push. I was really hoping that this next kill gets served up to him, but it's Cryptic in the corner. That's going to be the big question. Does Chop check it? No, back to Bazinga. He goes down. Cryptic's got it. That was just pistols, though, John.
Yeah. I mean, they overloaded Wolfie, who missed his shot with the AWP. That's always the risk when you have that op in an anti-eco situation, right? You have to hit, and especially if your rifler goes down right before that, it's tough. Oh, back to us. Hello.
Oh, hello. Our faces are out here. Hi.
And we're back in game. 11
that
to
was
6,
our
though,
contractually mandated extra FaceTime. It's like Hollywood actors. Spider-Man has to take his mask off for a certain amount of time. It's why Tobey Maguire always had his torn up. Yeah, that's us too. Gotta get our beautiful mugs out there.
Oh yeah. And down to the wire here for the Party Astronauts. At least for the chance at a 2-0. AKs across the board, though, and we did see that ridiculous comeback from M80 a couple of nights ago. So anything's possible, and it was against Boss. Wolfie missing, just firing the line pretty much. With his nice opener here there for him, and that's B site perhaps cracked open. There's still 2 players there, though.
Yeah, it's still not exactly wide open for the taking. Brat punishing here in mid 6. He's been very limited this game, at least compared to what we're used to seeing. Brett creeping out though. Ooh, timing is everything here. Brett slipped the gap. 60 can't find the shot, and Brett again just untouchable. His 20th frag found. The fade away on that as well. They should have had a dead to rights at so many moments. They know it, but his tenacity in this position.
They're saving.
The round's done.
I mean, they're either saving or they're just going to full-on sprint to the A site and grab the bomb. The A hit wouldn't be that bad because you only have
Wolfie.
1 player there, right? Yeah. But loss bonus I think is full. So they're going to try it. They know Brett is low, so they're probably looking to get that frag immediately here. Did they change their mind? They did. Okay. Ben probably said, "Hey guys, save please. Keep some rifles for next round." Not enough time to go for anything, and just not enough manpower.
No. Such a risk. But I mean, now, this game, I mean, it could be over. It could be over, right? They're going to have pistols, techies, galils to put around this. Boss. I mean, what a tremendous rally to what we saw on Nuke. What is our decider map, John? It's been so long, I forgot.
Vertigo.
Ooh. How do we feel about Vertigo between these two teams?
Look, Boss is so-so on Vertigo. It's 2 and 3, -9 round differential. They haven't had the best of luck against M80, lost 7-13. Against Nouns, though, they did win 13-6. And you look at the Party Astronauts, their record is deceiving there at 3 and 6 because a lot of those losses were earlier on in the over the last 3 months, like before they had Viz and Sixy back on the roster. And lately, they've actually been pretty good on Vertigo and had a lot of close matches. So I'm leaning PA if we go to map 3, but Boss are very serviceable.
We'll find out. Either way, it's neutral enough territory that it should be spicy. Because Boss have done a great job here on Ancient. Certainly, they've cooled down the hot streak that Sixy's been on. That, at the very least, gives them so much more of a chance here. Death ball into B. Numbers are here. The nade is here. Oh, that's some red bars. Wolfie under threat. He's going to try and hit the no-scope. That's not doing. Now it's chaos on the site. The death ball is finding it. Sixy's heating back up. Chops past them. Darty in the corner. They're just swinging. They're just swinging. The bomb's not down yet, guys. There's more work to do, and it's all falling apart. Sixy, another, despite the 3-piece on the tech line, it's not going to happen here. Boss were so quick on the rotation. And they are taking it through. They're taking the map. We're going to third. We couldn't make it easy to get into the ESL Pro League. We had to go the distance. And Boss, they are not done fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, Boss, this is how it should be. Really, it needs to be this way. Map 3 for Pro League. Boss have been so good this season, performed so well, and you saw it there on Ancient. This is why they made it to this point. That's why they were 12 and 2, because they don't get down by a first map battering. They come right back, and then they come back and do the same thing to the opposing team. So good on them. In that last round, Party Astronauts, you're right. They were just swinging everything without getting the bomb planted yet. They kind of handed that back into the hands of Boss. But we got map 3 coming up in just a little bit, Mike.
And we'll see what they can do. We'll find out after this break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
nothing but the fading light.
One more map. One more map is all that separates Party Astronauts and Boss from the Pro League, but only one of them can cross that threshold. Only one of them can walk through that door into the big leagues. For Party Astronauts, it'd be a return, but only 2 members of this squad were on that Pro League team. For Boss, be new experience for 4 of them. Only Wolfie reached those hallowed halls before. Either way, so much rides on one simple map of Vertigo, and we're getting spicy aggression from Party Astronauts. There's already a player in towards ladder. They went for the mid thrust, but seeing all the presence there, Boss realizes the A defense has to be light, so they're taking this space. They're rocking up the ramp. But as I say that, look at this. 4-man rotation in. This could get spicy.
Yeah, Ben's waiting with a flash, and there's going to be a smoke tossed out. Oh, what a swing from Wolfie. 60 is victim, and Wolfie can't get more. Great response from Chop and Pun alone, but numbers are even. Yeah, still even. 2v2 and Freshie. Oh my goodness, the re-aggression makes it a 2-piece. Viz, last one, 1v2. Freshie
so
on
low.
notice. He just needs 50 points.
Just needs the body shot. Can't do it. Freshie staying alive there, getting those 2 kills. Look, we saw a lot from Freshie when they were in the upper bracket.
Yep.
Right? He was the most impressive performer. Tonight, it's been a little quieter. We had Darty, we had Brett popping off there on Ancient. We had Cryptic massively impressing.
Yeah, Crypto was crazy.
We could use a little more from Freshie if they're going to take this.
For sure. And looking at their last Vertigo was a win against Nouns, which is nice. 13-6. Cryptic and Darty both top fragged at 18, and Darty was the best player in terms of ADR at 98.4. So, I mean, certainly would be great to see Freshie pop off. But on the other side, the Party Astronauts, I mean, they were pretty quiet over that last map. 60 in particular, below a KDR of 1 for the first time, perhaps in these playoffs. Well, I don't know in the playoffs, but certainly is his worst performance for a while. Nice, yeah, from Poland.
This spot, though, for Brett, he's in a weird spot. He's kind of surrounded. Eventually goes down, takes 2 for his efforts. So Brett has more than done his work here. Couple Mackies picked up. The unarmored Mackie is always a tough ask. But Chop will somehow, despite the aim punch, get that through. It's an expensive round, considering this was just base pistols, John. There's a little something to take out of it for PA.
Yeah, no question. I mean, look, 3 players need to reinvest here on Boss. You're going to see it after their buy-up comes through. That money's going to be low for Brett, Darty, and Freshie. Indeed. I mean, the other 2 have above 3K, but it would have been far superior for them if more than 2 had survived, and that money was looking great for the majority of their squad in case they lose this round. Anyway, 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS coming through for the Party Astronauts. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-2 split. Viz pretty aggressive with Chop here towards the top of the stairs at B. Oh, Darty almost dead. 3 HP hanging on to for very life in this round. Cryptic on the other side. Trying to help out his teammate. I don't know. What do you do if you're Boss here? They're kind of trapped at the B site, so I think they might swing around and group up towards A, where they have 3 players going near this ramp. Opponent on the other side.
It's a little telegraph now. A lot of utility behind it. They're not making a secret of this ramp take. Ben can rotate quickly, but the actual utility of these players remaining, they've just got some smokes. Here comes. First shot misses, but Ponaloni gets it on the second swing, and he's going to double dip. 60 there to follow it. He is traded. But Ben Leet sliding into the angle. The bomb is dropped. That's the big issue. That buys time for the rotations to come in. Ben Leet knows he can't die. That's the cardinal sin here. You can't die before your teammates are here. Planting. That's going to be a tough ask. Good shot from Cryptic. They know where both players are at this point. There are no more secrets. It's all about the brawl. Ben Leet dancing, dipping, diving, surviving, but not finding the killing blow. A protracted fight. Ben Leet trying to bring his allies into the fray, but they could do no aid.
Oh, that should have been a Party Astronauts round, honestly. They had such a good hold towards the top of ramp and then kind of wilted away. Look at that. Pone And 60 got 3 combined. Cryptic and Freshy were able to pull it together. Cryptic continues his solid form from that previous map, and Freshy hasn't died in any of these first 3 rounds. 5-0. Party Astronauts, that was their first buy round, and, well, didn't go the way they wanted. They're going to lightly invest into this one with some pistols and util. Ben gets the armor, and they're going to push down the ramp. Why not? Give it a shot. Wolfie gets one, fully blinded. Freshy supporting him, though. 60 does manage one, but I think that might be an isolated frag at this point, because Viz is gone, and 60's the last one. AK upgrade would be great to carry forward, but I doubt Boss is going to let him do that for free.
Yeah, they got to the point where they can hunt at least Brett on the Mac 10. You can see he's flying into the fray. Woo, and he's going to get it. Looked like he was dead to rights, but a little bit of nifty movement there. Someone's been in the KZ servers.
A little bit of BM there, too. All right, Brett.
All right, all right. 60 has cooled off.
Well, maybe a little early to do that, and I don't think you want to light that fire again, but hey, his choice.
Get in his head. Yeah. Psychological damage. Let's see. Let's see. Pops out for Pone alone. Pone here at Cement. He's looking. 60 finds the first. So there we go. Getting a little bit of revenge. Now the bodies are dropping. Tags onto Wolfie as well. Will find the kill. He rerouted. Came out of the side hall, came around to try and get his offer out of there. The rescue mission is a success. Pone alone. He's out. And 60 back to hunting. Spraying his body. Maybe you awoke the sleeping dragon.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. Not up for to nothing. Especially when it's anything but a sure thing, and 60, there's just doesn't take much to get him going once more. Viz is going to get the headshot on Darty, and Wolfie the last one standing, and he was the lowest HP player. 4 points of health remain, and 47 seconds for him to decide what he is going to do. I would imagine a save is going to be attempted here, and yeah, he's going all the way back here.
I mean, there's no need for them to hunt. There's no reason for them to hunt. They're not going to do it. They need this money to build. 4 players alive is a blessing. So they'll wait 30 seconds. We got a little bit of time. And Wolfie, you know, I mean, you can basically take your hands off the keyboard. It's going to be fine. You will be fine there.
Pretty sure that's what he did. He's just
chilling
frozen like a statue.
Taking a nap. Power nap. Discussing what they want to do into the next round. I mean, this is a great way to get on the board. There's no better way to do it. 60... He's been the standout performer of the playoffs. Getting him activated again. Look, if Brett spraying the body is what you needed, whatever you can tack on that bulletin board, whatever you could do to get him waking up. Yeah. Yeah, I think he remembers. I think he took issue with that.
Yeah. Don't give him a reason to crank it up a notch, man. Oh, goodness. Well, 1-4. Party Astronauts on the board. And the money is starting to run dry on Boss. They still will be able to pull together a nice buy-up, 2 AKs, 2 Galils, the op. But on the other side, I mean, Party Astronauts, as we mentioned, 4 players alive in that previous one, building up their economy a little bit. Strong util coming into this round. Viz tossing the nade down, but that's not going to connect for any damage. It's just to keep Boss back and at bay.
Where are they putting Wolfie on this T side? Because this is the op. That's the change-up, right? Dropped his gun over, picked up the AWP. He's in ladder.
That's interesting.
Yeah, gonna try and make a move in towards mid, linking up with Brett. Shop up on top of the box.
That's an off angle.
It could be a little unusual. Can he catch the upper? No, Wolfie was ready. He's familiar with their shenanigans. But does he expect Bentley? And will they even test this? They got the 5v4. Seems like they're willing to back away.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Pull it back, burn some time off the clock, give Party Astronauts something to think about. Obviously, having that player there at mid helps for information, so the Party Astronauts won't have to over-rotate. They still have to keep Bentley posted there. Brett sticks around. Bentley wins the fight. 4v4. Yeah, absolutely. Now they have an inkling that they're going to be at the B site, but that was just a ruse. Boss are rotating back. They're on the ramp. 2 players here to receive them.
Coming looking. Sixty's coming looking. He's going to be the contact man. He's got the first. Not able to get the second, though. Couldn't reset. Couldn't back off, and Pwn alone lost. Now this is a catastrophe. You got no presence on the site. You don't really have the util to get back on. Ben Leeds going to try and deny. But way too late on that Uti to get the planter.
Oh, hold on.
Is though. Flying into the fray. Got it down to the 2v2. Wolfie's looking high, but he's got the player low. Comes down to the clutch. Ben Leeds solo. It's got to be a headshot. Headshot, and that might not be enough. Here's the swing. Here's the check. Cryptic comes out on top in the battle of the IGLs. And an immediate answer back for Boss.
Oh, man. A little more HP, and Ben wins that fight. He just got too low in the previous one, and Boss managed to pull it back. Wolfie, despite the fact that he missed that shot at the end, he was very critical in ensuring this round came through, because he got the second frag looking towards scaffolding, right? Expecting the player to be cycling around there, which was a perfect read. And then the follow-up on a nice little peak shot to take Viz out of the round. So 5-1 in favor of Boss. A timeout going to be called by the party astronauts because they don't want things to slip away here. Their economy was still healthy enough to justify the buy-up here, no question. The only one who's a little bit limited, I would say, is Sixy. But he's pretty serviceable with the MP9. I'm not too worried about him. 2 A1Ss and the AWP round out the buy here. On the other side, it's not great economic-wise for Boss either, because they've been winning these rounds, but it's been very tightly contested. So I would say if Party Astronauts get a second here, they could easily pull it back and bring us to a tied scoreline. If not, oof, becomes a bit of a problem.
A swing around. Pwn alone gets the opener. That's Brett shut down. And mid on lock for PA. Doesn't start much better than that. Seems like it's going to be the B probe. There's 2 players here. Viz and Shot both playing the angle. A lot of utility as well to try and hold off a push. This could be a bit more resistance than Boss are anticipating. There's the spot. There's the shots. No kills just yet, but the nade, not even that punishing, frankly. Still, they hold the assault at bay. Don't give anything up. And Boss walk away empty-handed. So they'll try A. B's closed. Come knocking down the street. It's like a kid on Halloween, you know? Oh, this house isn't giving out candy bars. This house is giving out fruit? Come on. Where the king-size Snickers at?
Sixy. Oh, this is a good peek. Maybe? Yeah. Wolfie's gone. Sixy goes for a follow-up. Ben gets the trade, and Freshy's got another 2 to his name. Missed shot from Pwn. It's still an man advantage for the Party Astronauts, but that missed shot gives up the space and allows the plant to come through.
And this duo has been deadly. Cryptic and Freshy. This is not a duo you want to tangle with. They may not expect Cryptic to already be so close up. Last time they played from the ramp, they're never expecting Cryptic to be here. 1, 2 found. Wow. Cryptic's just done it himself, and Freshy there for the final. That's a beautiful play. This duo is starting to take command here on Vertigo, and they do it again.
Oh, that's just such a beautiful play from Cryptic. They didn't expect him to be that close. He gets the first one for free, and they're trying to come through the smoke on the other side, and Cryptic has the advantage again. And even when he's not ready for that third, who else but Freshy to be there to support him? Like you said, dynamic duo. They continue to be strong here on Vertigo. 6-1 in favor of Boss. Timeout, though, regardless of the round victory, being called by Boss to talk things over. Maybe because that was a nice little clutch. Comms might have gotten a little crazy. They're getting excited. Pro League spot in the line. Just got to keep their cool and keep their heads in the game. Goodness me.
Goodness, indeed.
I mean, for Boss...
Nade stack?
Sorry, yeah, maybe. I was just
Like,
going to say...
Oh, go ahead, John.
No,
I'm
I
just
was
saying
going to
silly
say,
shit.
for Boss, it would be absolutely unreal for them to go from, I think, missing the playoffs 2 seasons ago to a Pro League spot in season 46.
Truly unreal. Truly unbelievable. Based on the level these players have been at before, it's been a meteoric rise, right? It's we were talking previously about a team, you know, where the 5 players become bigger than the sum of their parts. This is one such roster where these players are elevating beyond any level they've competed at before. It's it's a little magic something. Let's see if they can take it all the way. Bit of a Cinderella story, and Pone alone, well, he's turned into a pumpkin. Viz in the smoke. Eventually has to move out. He will get one, but that might be all she wrote into this round. Bomb going down. 60 checked on the flank. No issues here. And a wounded Ben Leet, the only threat. But if he gets a gun, that's at least something to take out of this round. And now Ben knows he's just pulled off the heist of the century. But he's not satisfied.
Are you kidding
Just
me,
with the
Ben?
safe. He's going for the whole vault. And that's security in the form of Darty, catching him red-handed.
I mean, I think that's Ben saying, look, we're down 6-1. Maybe I can try some heroics here. I have a buy-up in the next round anyway. But I still think it's better to save the AK or try to get away from that situation if you can. He's probably realizing or thinking in his head, maybe someone's on the flank. I don't know if I can even save. My health is low. The bomb might just finish me off. So, I don't know. Either way, 7-1 for Boss. Party Astronauts will have the full buy. AWP available for Pone alone. 60 toss the Molotov. They're already up ramp. Look at this quick push from Boss. And they get the opening frag. 60 gets one, but he straight it out immediately. I can't even speak anymore. 4v3 in favor of Boss. Pone, along with Chop, try to close the distance here and restructure the site in their favor, but it's going to be tough. Wolfie's already here, and he catches the shoulder of Chop.
Look, we've been waiting for Wolfie to come alive in these playoffs. We've been waiting for him to take command of a map. Seems like Vertigo suits him just fine. Oh, the timing. The timing on Cryptic. Ay, ay, ay. That one's going to sting when you watch it back. But look at the positioning still. You got Brett working his way through mid. They still got a minute here. You've got Viz trying to go for an aggressive positioning on B. Brett has his choice of things. The only potential blunder here is if they decide to bail out and go back B, and they run right into Viz. But Brett's just going to try and pinch onto the A site. It's the correct read. It's the correct call. And with that kill, it's the round. They've got the site. They've got no more resistance here. The bomb's going to go down, and it's going to be 8-1 on the board for Boss. This is catastrophic. This is self-destruction from Party Astronauts. They're getting nothing.
It's sad for them, honestly. But they're...
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I was just saying, it's tough to point to any one issue. They're getting close in a lot of these rounds. They're getting them into the clutches, into the 2v2s, into the 3v2s. More often than not, they've had a lot of good post-plant scenarios. They just can't close.
Yeah, and I think Cryptic, along with Freshy, have done such a great job working together in those post plants. A couple of rounds belong solely to them. Not to mention that the trades have been really the story for Boss. They are always right there, especially in this round. And if you look at their stats in the regular season, I talked about this last time, but 3 of their 5 players were in the top 5 for KAST. I mean, I think it was Wolfie, who was number 1, if I'm not mistaken, or number 2, excuse me, Freshy number 3, and Darty number 4, all in the 79% range. So yeah, it's a team that's very well structured. They work well together. They play off each other exceptionally well, and you're seeing it here on Vertigo with this 8-1 lead.
I don't know what to talk about in that timeout. I don't know what to talk about in that timeout. They better come up with one hell of a speech, one hell of an answer. Because the time for solutions is fast slipping away. They got to mount some sort of a defense here in these next few.
3 in a row, Mike. They just need to get 4. They're good.
I mean, even if they wind up with 3, that gives you something to play off of. But they're going to eco out this one. Slight upgrades on. Don't want to make the mistake here. They don't want to bet it all right now. Look, you're right. The Ds can be deadly. Maybe that kind of dynamic play is just what they need. Viz, though, won't get anything with the lone rifle. Cryptic is right to assume, seeing the M4, that there's got to be at least one more close at hand. Ben lead down. The bodies are dropping. The pieces are falling off the chessboard. This is starting to look
a
little bit like checkmate. Freshy doesn't even know, but he tacked another player on that spray. Pone alone might have the element of surprise, but that's about the only positive narrative I can spin for them right now. That's a slim one at best. Surprise gone. Nade on. Pwn alone. Out of there. The bomb will be planted, and Chop's best bet is to save this M4 into the next. It's another dominant round. Yes, this one we didn't see much for Party Astronauts. It was limited on the buy, but they get nothing.
I mean, Chop might be able to save the A1S into the next round, but yeah, it was just absolutely nothing going their way. Boss picking them apart. Rotations are good. They're really doing a great job of getting in the heads of the Party Astronauts and not telegraphing their plays, which is the key to success on Vertigo, because rotations can happen so very quickly. 9-1 for Boss. They are only 4 rounds away from the spot in Pro League and also that grand final here in ECL Season 46. This is wild.
It really is. Just a reminder of their storyline this season alone. This was a team with Slight who were part of an organization. The organization cuts them, keeps Slight, who was at the time their star player, right? Their AWPer, cuts the spine out of the roster, tosses them out immediately after their first ever Euro tour for most of these players. They decide to stick together. They keep the spot, since obviously they are the core of the roster. Named themselves Boss. Pick up Wolfie after he gets removed from M80. And now they're 4 rounds away from the ESL Pro League as an unsigned team, but we might finally be finding some fight for the Party Astronauts. Viz collects on B, 6E on A. The 2 sites hold strong for the first time in what feels like a long, long time. It's not done in this round just yet. Party Astronauts might just be finding a little bit of space.
Still a lot of time here for Boss. Minute 10 on the clock. They could go for a boost here above the stairs. Viz is a pretty solid B anchor on Vertigo. So, yeah.
Ben comes off of mid to throw the flash, and that's just as the mid player moves over. The timing is brutal. Brett finds the perfect moment to strike. Viz is gone as well, and it is fallen apart. This house of cards has come tumbling down. They built it on a fault line, John. And cards, they're not earthquake proof. The bomb is planted. 6E and Pwn alone, they're making a desperate attempt here because, I mean, you can't blame them. It's the time for desperate measures. But who's going to be the hero? Wolfie's missed 6E. The door's back open now. Door's back open. 6E making it happen. Finding some of that fire once more. Pwn alone on the smoke fade. It's just cryptic here. Oh, by the cooling. And Pwn alone, he'll do it in the nick of time, but that one's all about 6E. Finding 2 from the flank, forcing Cryptic to look away on the last.
He was dancing around that AWP, honestly. He's just trying to get the information. I don't think he was spotted throughout all of that, and then wins the fight as soon as the swing does come through for the op. Afterwards, he continues pushing forward, manages to get the second, puts so much pressure on the last player. Yes, they get him to get dropped down to dirt, but the trade is immediately there, and a second round. That is just... a round that felt like it was in their control, slipped away from them, which led to a bomb plant, but they still pull it back, which is good to keep Boss off of double digits. But the bomb plant and all the money here that Boss has means they can still go for a full-on buy, and they'll be fine in the next round as well. 6E's been that star player for them, though, Mike, and I mean, he's injecting life into them. I feel like they lose that round, Mike, and it's curtains.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It was a 4v3. It was advantage on a 5v3, actually, at one point, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think so.
Got to follow it up, but at least a little bit of life here from 6E. Oh, he's betting it all. He's betting it all. He's found the first, spots the rest, but oh no, it's 2 back the other way. Ben Lee now needs to step up. The hero of the last round, he's not going to be here. So the captain's got to do it all himself. Teammates will be on. They've got some utility to deny the plant. Molotov will be deployed for that purpose. Brett rebuffed. Oh, the nade popper on the smoke. That's bold, and it works. Chop collects. That drops the bomb, drops the C4, but Wolfie's found that angle. He's come hunting. Pressure wants a plan. They lured in from the wrong side. Bomb down.
Oh.
Darty there. And it's all on shop. They're stacked up and there's just not enough bullets.
Oh, no.
10 rounds for Boss. They'll send us to the half with just 3 needed to book their spot in the ESL Pro League. One more half. One more half. That's all we need. All we've got left. And for one of these teams, for Boss, the road to the Pro League is a very short one. But for PA, at least they picked the right site in this pistol round.
It might not be the right site for long, though, because they threw that Molotov and they're not really going up towards it, so reinforcements come through. Okay, 60 gets the headshot, so that will help. Bomb plant is pretty much assured. No! Wolfie's going to charge through. 3 of them going right out. Party gets Bentley. It's falling apart for the Party Astronauts. Now down to a 3v3, but Pone alone gets hit hard, and he still doesn't have that bomb control. It's down on the ground.
Yeah, and it popped out on the edge of the smoke. There's no way to recover it without finding these kills. They're just going to have to take these frags. Cryptic denies everything. It's all onto Viz. He can't even find the first. Oh, no. It's fallen apart. It's burned up an atmosphere for Party Astronauts. And how many times have we said that this map? How many times, John, have they been in a good spot, in a good position, had map control, had man advantage, had utility, and it just doesn't matter?
This map used to be a ban, insta ban for the party astronauts. They only recently reintroduced into their pool, and I was saying it was trending well because it was, but still it's not one that they have that many reps on, and it's showing right now. Those rounds they would close out on any other of the other maps in their pool, the top maps in their pool anyway, just isn't happening here. 11-2 for Boss. Freshie, oh my goodness, is he stepping into a Molotov or something?
I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but he is low. Tagged up, maybe just spammed up, getting into the corner there. That's going to be about this mid-contact. Brett's been great tonight. Not this time. Uppercut shot. Transfer from Cryptic.
Oh, wow.
And Cryptic wants to be in the Pro League. Cryptic can taste it, and you cannot deny him. Darty getting up close on these pistols. The SMG might be enough. The USP required.
Oh,
and indeed, it is.
Wow, look, I mean, that
One
situation
round.
for Cryptic, yeah, 1 round away from that Pro League spot, but that situation for Cryptic, it's tough. He could have only gotten one because those pistols swing around the corner can quickly overload you with the rifle, especially with his teammate going down the momentum kind of swinging in favor of the party astronauts, but he still hangs on to get a second one, and that's the difference maker. His team can then close out the rest, and it's 12-2. Like you said, Mike, one more round, and Boss are in Pro League.
One more round. One more round. 60 though. We'll find Brett getting a little ambitious, trying to go for the ladder dive. Respect the hustle. You're feeling a lot of confidence right now. You got some rounds to play with, but that one's not gonna happen.
Oh boy. Oh goodness me. Okay, trade is good. Pwn alone, finding Freshie, still the man advantage. Viz gets another on Darty, but Cryptic is right there. Man,
Yeah.
he is everywhere he is needed.
This guy's been unreal. This guy's been unreal. Reminder, he's their IGL. He's calling for this team right now, and he's top fragging, and he's been consistently doing this. Star player, IGL, whatever you need him to be, Cryptic will deliver! And he might have just delivered Pro League! Cryptic, he might have done this with his 19th kill of the game. Now the flank is on. Wolfie's creeping up the stairs, and it's done! Boss on through! Boss! The team that was dropped halfway through the season, the team that no one expected, they've done it. They've run all the way through the bracket. They've made it here. They are your second representative of North America at the ESL Pro League Season 19.
And an unsigned team, like we said, no longer part of an organization. So, wow, we're going to jump into interview, though, I think, right now.
We are? We've got someone in
I think
already?
so.
Holy
Yeah.
calzone, they hopped in that link in a moment. Well, let's get them on in here.
What's up, boss?
Oh, we got him. Cryptic, you're in the
Yeah.
ESL Pro League. Congratulations.
It's a field day. I'm actually really excited. I've never had this much adrenaline in a long time, so I'm really happy.
I
Show
can't
us the
even
hand.
imagine.
Show us the hand. Is it shaking?
A little bit shaky, you know? Just a little bit.
Little bit.
Pretty calm, honestly. Man, what a performance from you individually. What happened there? It just felt like you were on one for the last 2 rounds. I guess that adrenaline just pumping through you, especially that last round. Just an MP9. You get 2 frags and bring the numbers back in your favor. How does that feel?
It feels really great. That both of those rounds, I was hard baiting Brett because I knew I could just insta-trade him. So like I know he's gonna die because he just wants to go get kills. So I'm like, okay, I'll just secure the round. So it's pretty great.
I love it. Yeah, we were talking about Brett getting a little over ambitious there. He was just chasing frags, trying to end it right away. So I think you made the right play. Well done.
Let's zoom out for a moment, right? This match in general, incredible from you guys. But let's talk about the journey of this season, right? You enter this season with an org. You go on a Euro trip halfway through after a phenomenal start to the season. You come back and find out you're gone. You're homeless. You're without representation. You find Wolfie, you pick him up, you rebuild the team, rename yourselves to Boss, and now you've achieved that big goal. You're into the ESL Pro League. You don't need an org. You're in the Pro League, baby. What has this journey been like?
Well, picking up Wolfie actually helped our team so much. He actually taught us how to play Vertigo. We every single scrim in Europe, we got 2 to 22. we got completely demolished every single scrim because we didn't know how to play Vertigo. And as soon as we brought in Wolfie, he actually taught us how to play Vertigo. So this win is actually all because of Wolfie. So I'm very grateful for Wolfie.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it when you got him. I thought it was really tough, I'm sure, to lose Slight and all of that, with all that news coming along as well, with Wildcard dropping you and then taking Slight with them, and then you got Wolfie, who kind of landed in your lap. It must have been amazing, and I was thinking probably an upgrade. Is that how you guys felt, or?
Yeah, Wolfie was exactly what we needed because Keller, his aim is slightly better than Wolfie, and like he could like pop off at any time. But we need that steady player on our team who can actually like constantly help us and put in valid inputs and knows exactly what he wants to do on each round. So with that, it just allows our team so much more opportunities than with Keller. So it's actually, I think it's a perfect upgrade for both Wildcard and us. So I'm very happy with what happened. So
the rare win-win roster move, man. I mean, look, you guys are a young team. You're an inexperienced team relative to your competition, relative to the other teams in here. You're what, 22? Darty's 19, Freshy's 21. That they're the youth. Yeah, this is the next generation of NA talent coming up, a region where, you know, we've been looking for it. Are you guys the next big thing?
Hopefully. That's what we're banking on, but you never know until you're actually playing in Europe, because it's a completely different play style. It's actually easier to read European teams than most North American teams. So that's what I've realized.
Well,
all comes down to showing up in the server.
It's always tough if they don't know what they're doing. You can't know what they're doing, right? So chaos element there. But I mean, look, congratulations, man. This is a massive win. I mean, take the full stock of it tonight. You guys have booked yourself a spot in the Premier League in the Counter-Strike world. But I do have one more question before we let you go. There's one more match to be played. To be the champions of the ESL Challenger League, you got to take on M80. That's a rematch. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, to be honest, we should have beat them in regular season. We choked that game. We should have beat them in playoffs. We choked that game hard. So as long as we don't choke and we actually like play our own game and don't get anxiety, because that's the reason why we lost, is we had so much pressure on ourselves on overpass. We just want to close out instantly. But if we play with no pressure, we should actually put up a good fight. So I'm excited for playing them.
Well, most of the pressure's gone. Job's done. Pro League's in. Congratulations. Thanks for coming on to talk to us, man. Yeah. Tremendous victory tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Man. It's good to see. He's so excited, man. That's amazing.
That's what we love to see, man. That's what we love to see. These are 4 first-time Pro League players. Like these guys have never even sniffed this level of competition. This is huge. They had 1 Euro trip with Wildcard to play Thunderpick. That's what they had before, right? And they had time there to compete, to play, but nothing on this level. This is a roster that's had so many stumbling blocks. I mean, even going back to the RMR, right? This was the team that had a player who couldn't travel to the RMR. Brett was dealing with health issues. This is there have been so many stumbling blocks for this team. There have been so many issues for them before, and yet still they battle through this season and they best the party astronauts. One of the most tenured rosters we have competing at the ECL level. They triumph.
And
it's a hell of a story.
He's right about M80 as well in both situations. Both BO3s they played them, they could have won, especially the last one. We were saying on the air when we were casting that match that it felt like nerves. It felt like they weren't just anxiety setting in and they didn't have a chance to close it out because of that. And you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Literally just nervous, wanted to close it out quickly, especially on overpass, and let it slip through their fingers. But I feel like something special is happening here for this boss roster. Not only are they in Pro League, but even though there's a map advantage for M80 in that grand final, that BO5 tomorrow, I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be spicy.
Yes,
it's going to be spicy. It's always going to be a question of who wants it more, right? The main job is done. You've got the Pro League, but this still matters. I mean, obviously the grand prize is huge. Naming yourself the champions of ECL is huge, but also for ranking points and for the Valve rankings, which are going to be so important when we start the new year and get ready for the RMRs.
Absolutely. I mean, look, it's an important match for both teams, I would say. M80's already looking pretty strong in terms of points, and they're already in the Pro League as well. They're going to be heading to quite a few tournaments for themselves. I think they're going to Atlanta, right, to compete there.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
there's a lot going on for them already. But for Boss, it's even more important, I would say, to rack up those points with a win tomorrow.
We'll see what they can do. We'll see what's going to happen. I can't wait to find out. Congratulations again
Oh, yeah.
to Boss for making it through to the ESL Pro League. Truly the Cinderella run of this season. And they've earned it. I mean, they were the 2 seed, right? They were dominant in the regular season. And they showed why here in the playoffs against the best that we have to offer at the ECL level. Huge victory. Congratulations. Can't wait to cast them tomorrow night. But for now, good night, everybody.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.